Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight.
The Deputy Prime Minister sounds off on the recent apology of the House Speaker.
Outspoken former MP Leslie Miller defends Miriam Emanuel.
Police Commissioner Anthony Ferguson tight-lipped on police-involved shootings. Find out what he has to say about the force being equipped with body cameras.
Our news is brought to you by Alive, the nation's newest and best LTE network.
Good to be alive.
Welcome to Our News, and thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Joaquin. Topping news tonight, on the heels of House Speaker Hudson Moultrie's apology Wednesday for his scathing attack on members of the opposition and a retired civil servant, Deputy Prime Minister Peter Turnquist says he believes that apology was sincere. He also addressed the absence of 7 government members of Parliament who were not present for a vote of confidence in the House Speaker last evening. Georgia Bain reports.
Now, while some persons have ridiculed House Speaker Hudson Moultrie's communication in the House of Assembly, Deputy Prime Minister Peter Turnquist says he believes that his apology was genuine, although he did make some pretty personal attacks.
He expressed some remorse for some of the comments that he made. I respect that. But at the end of the day, we as parliamentarians have to respect the authority of the Speaker in order that we have an orderly debate and that we don't get into personal diatribes, which can then can lead to escalating feelings that can go outside of the House. And that is the whole idea of the rules of the House, is to ensure that the members speaking speak to the Speaker rather than to individuals, and that we stay away from any kind of personal invectives that may cause personal injury. And so, again, I think the Speaker handled himself well. He may have made some comments that may have been, in his own admission, a bit personal, and he has apologized for those, and so we leave it there.
While no members of Parliament were absent when Opposition Leader Philip Davis moved a motion of no confidence in the House Speaker Wednesday morning, 7 members of the governing party were absent for the actual vote. They are Pine Ridge MP Frederick McAlpine, who said in Parliament the Bahamian people are losing confidence in the government, North Abaco MP James Albury, Freetown MP Denisio D'Aguilar, Long Island MP Adrian Gibson, North Eleuthera MP Ricky Mackey, Marco City MP Michael Pintard, and Pinewood MP Ruben Ramming. Turnquist said they all had legitimate excuses for their absence.
No, not at all. Not at all. All of them gave excuses. They either had to go back to their island district or they had other commitments that they had to attend to. As you know, yesterday was a very busy day. A lot of things going on. Contrary to popular belief, we don't stop the business of the country for these kind of events. We have to continue to do what we're doing, and that's what we're focused on.
Pintard told us that while he had issues with a lot of things Moultrie said, he does not think it warranted being removed as House Speaker. He said he was absent because he had obligations to his ministry and Grand Bahama. Meanwhile, D'Aguilar said he was in a meeting at the time of the vote, but had he been present, he definitely would have voted for the House Speaker to remain in the chair. Ramming, who seconded an amended motion brought by the leader of government business, Renwood Wells, said he informed Wells and Deputy Speaker Don Saunders well in advance of the vote that he would miss it because he was traveling. The House vote stems from the House Speaker's scathing attack on the opposition, in which he took jabs at the opposition leader Philip Davis's non-Bahamian wife, PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell, former Chief Clerk Maurice Tynes, and suspended the entire opposition. 26 MPs voted in favor of the motion, while the 4 opposition MPs voted against it. The Deputy Prime Minister said the vote of confidence in the Speaker is proof that the majority of MPs still support Moultrie despite what was said.
Not at all. I think that the vote yesterday was unanimous in terms of the support behind the Speaker, and I think that reflects the confidence that we all have as a caucus in the Speaker.
Moultrie yesterday apologized for his attacks, which he admitted were unfortunate. However, Turnquist says for years there has been what appears to be a blatant disregard for the position of House Speaker, and he believes Moultrie was just asserting his authority.
When the Speaker is speaking, nobody speaks. When the Speaker is speaking, nobody leaves the chamber. When the Speaker is giving instruction, you listen. And for years now, not just in this session, but in the last 5 years that I've been sitting in Parliament, I've noticed this sort of disrespect, if you will, for the position of Speaker. And so we have this rowdiness that goes on. So, you know, we're all human. And sometimes we react in different ways.
Reporting for our news, I'm Georgie O'Bain.
Michael MP Miriam Emanuel has gained an unlikely ally in the form of former Member of Parliament for Tall Pines, Leslie Miller. Miller today defended Emanuel over her controversial manhandling comments in the House of Assembly last week. Miller slammed those who condemned the Michael MP, saying she can't be blamed for what she was taught growing up. Jasmine Brown reports.
Miller says unlike most of the country, he will not condemn Emanuel, as he insists it's not her fault how she was raised. While Miller condemned domestic violence, he says he simply can't condemn Emanuel. He says from the way he sees it, Emanuel should not be castigated for where and how she was raised.
It's always petty politics, and this is what is ruining this country today. One party win on the group that is in there now look as if, I mean, everything is politics. Every single thing is politics. They can't see the light for the smoke that they're watching. I think we need to grow up.
Emanuel landed in hot water last week as she praised the Speaker of the House of Assembly for naming and suspending Anglerston MP Glenys Hannah Martin. During her contribution, Emanuel said her father taught his daughters that if they approached their husbands disrespectfully, they would get manhandled, and suggested there may be some circumstances when it's acceptable for a man to beat his wife. The backlash was almost immediate as she faced strong rebuke from social media and radio talk shows, prompting her to apologize for her statement that same day. But she also noted that her words were taken out of context. Miller says he believes all Emanuel was doing was speaking her truth.
Why it happened, only God knows, that you can reach that point, that you got to get so personal and make such despicable remarks against other people, especially persons who were elected by the people to represent their views and their opinions in Parliament. It's unfortunate, but I guess hopefully we would learn from this and we would grow to be a more responsible society and have a more responsible Parliament.
4 years ago, Miller found himself in hot water over similar circumstances after making these remarks in February 2014.
That's like beating your wife or your girlfriend every time you go home. You just beat her for looking at her. I love you. Boom, boom, boom. I had a girlfriend that, but I don't beat her. She used to tell me, I ain't love her no more because I hate her. No, seriously, I had one like that. I had one.
We know.
Listen, tell me.
We know that you're joking with that.
I'm serious with that. I tell I get tired, man. My heart's a little bit. Give me a break. I'm telling you the truth. One thing I don't do is lie.
He would later say his words were only made in jest, apologized, and made a donation to the Crisis Center. In her apology, Emanuel reminded her critics of Miller's controversial comments. However, Miller said there is no comparison between the two.
Listen, I think it's time. Listen, from the beginning, it was a no-win situation for the PLP. You don't have the numbers to demand that the Speaker resign. I admit what the Speaker said was ill-conceived. He has apologized for it. We got to accept his apology. I think it's been condemned roundly by people from all walks of life. The press has massacred him. It's now time to move on and say, listen, we accept your apology. Let's move on and go from there. Because we have a country to run. And the opposition has a role to play in running our country.
Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Police Commissioner Anthony Ferguson tight-lipped today on the recent police-involved killings that are at a record clip this year. Jared Higgs reports.
Are there any concerns about citizens of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas being robbed, being killed?
Police Commissioner Anthony Ferguson was guarded in his responses to questions from the media regarding a recent spate of police-involved shootings resulting in the deaths of suspects. Police have killed 6 suspects so far this year, including a man who officers claim pulled a knife on them near a primary school on Monday. However, Ferguson says he won't speak to the issue while there are cases before the coroner.
I don't want to comment on matters that are being adjudicated before a constituted court of law. The police mandate is to prevent, detect crime and arrest persons who commit crime. And I think that is the other half of anything else outside of that is another spectrum. I will not be one of those who cross over. I'm going to be responsible for my mandate.
It's being suggested that body cameras is a solution to more transparency from police officers. Now, Ferguson, who says that his force has been equipped with a small amount of body cameras, well, they're just waiting to see when exactly they'll roll out the full program. On Wednesday, 8 officers in the Immigration Department were outfitted with body cams by Tech Advance Limited. Ferguson says the force's own testing of the technology was successful, but he wouldn't confirm a date for a full rollout.
I'm pretty certain, you don't want to just, everything is not really, shouldn't be given a date. I have to be able to make careful selection and one that we can live with. Because you don't want to get something today and then tomorrow you find out it's not the right product. So you have to carefully make your selection, and that is what I'm doing along with my team.
Minister of National Security Marvin Dames told reporters this week that police aren't in the business of arbitrarily taking people's lives. Dames added that he trusts that any time police or Defence Force officers use their weapons, they're using it for justifiable means. Reporting for R News, I'm Jared Higgs.
2 Canadian strippers admitted to stealing an Atlantis guest room card and charging meals and other services, totaling charges $4,589. 23-year-old Sydney Mills in the burgundy and 25-year-old Natasha Stolov in the black, both of Toronto, pleaded guilty to 10 counts of fraud by false pretenses and 1 count of credit by fraud at their arraignment before Magistrate Samuel McKinney this afternoon. According to prosecuting attorney Samantha Maya, a guest at Atlantis contacted police after noticing over $10,000 in unauthorized charges to his room. The woman made the charges from January 12th to the 15th. Maya said he told police that he suspected that Mills and Stolov had removed his card when he invited them to his room one night. Maya said that police were also searching for 2 men who are suspected of also using the card to make unauthorized charges. Attorney Alex Dorset said the women were remorseful for their actions. He said that Mills was in college and that Stolov had completed a postgraduate degree. Magistrate McKinney ordered each woman to pay $2,294 in compensation. They were also each ordered to pay fines totaling $3,750 to avoid spending 9 months in prison. Dorset said the fines will be paid tomorrow. Still to come on our news, a billionaire on Chubkey aiding in the fight against crime. Stay tuned.